Hi everyone, Matt Duca from Linx-AS, and welcome to the Sustainability Thread demo series. If you haven't heard of the Sustainability Thread concept, check out this white paper by Klaus Brettschneider. In it, he details how the digital thread we all know from PLM can be applied to sustainability requirements to make companies more agile and responsive to the ever-changing ESG reporting requirements, and also take a lot of strain off of the already stressed sustainability teams. So today, we're going to be talking about product packaging data and how digitalization can take the legwork and the paperwork out of complying with extended producer responsibility and plastic tax calculations. What I'm going to be demoing is SAP's Responsible Design and Production, which is a cloud-based application running on the SAP Business Technology Platform. We're going to be looking at packaging compositions and how various regulations can easily and instantly be applied to basic material and reporting fractions. So I hope this demo is helpful, so let's get right to it. So we're logged into SAP Responsible Design and Production, or RDP for short. Now I'm currently in as an administrator, so I'm seeing all the applications available that can be assigned to all the different roles in the application. But what we're going to focus on today is the packaging data section, and specifically packaging compositions. Now, packaging compositions are basically bills of material for a package, and those compositions then can be assigned to a product or products across your portfolio so that you can track how the composition of the packaging components impact the sales across regions and jurisdictions as they apply to particular regulations, declarations, or taxes. When you go into the packaging compositions view, you'll basically get a hit list of all the compositions in the system. Now we've prepared a simple example to start with called Essential Oil 15, and you can see here that this packaging composition for 15 mils is assigned to all these different products. And when we dive into the details of the packaging composition, you can see, again, I said it's a pretty simple one. We have basically a primary glass bottle that it is packaged in. It has a subordinate packaging element to the bottle, which is a cap, and that cap is not separable from the bottle. And then there's a subprimary packaging element, a color box that the product is packaged in, and that is the composition for all the assigned products. So now if we want to understand how this composition translates into reporting, we can go into reported fractions. So we can see here we have a report category, and these are maintained by SAP, but you do have the ability to create your own reporting categories and reports that are custom. But what you can see is it takes the packaging composition that you've created in this system, the cap, the glass bottle, and the color box, and then translates that into the basic material fraction in the center here. So polypropylene is the cap, bottle is glass, and the color box is cardboard. And then for this particular Canadian Ontario Blue Box declaration, the cap itself as non-separable is reported with the glass bottle by weight. So you can see how that translates visually. And then the cardboard goes into paperless laminates. And so here's the power of the sustainability thread, that once you have your packaging data digitalized, within a few clicks, we can go to Spain plastic tax calculation and see how that exact same packaging composition would report under that tax regulation. So the cap itself, again, still polypropylene, and that's the reporting fraction. The glass bottle and the color box and their basic materials are not covered within this tax. So that's a very simple example. So let me back out and we'll find something a little bit more detailed. So we'll take a look at this packaging composition. And you can see within RDP, you can now get pretty detailed packaging compositions to drive calculations. And this is where digitalization of the packaging information really, takes a lot of the time out of calculating and understanding how the impacts of certain changes by the packaging engineer can affect how it's reported across multiple regulations and declarations. So this particular packaging element has your primary elements. It has subprimary, secondary packaging elements, and lastly, the tertiary or transport elements of the packaging composition. And actually, there's additional ones added to the transport. So again, a much more complex packaging designed by the packaging engineer. And then, but in the same token, with a click, you can understand, again, within the Ontario Blue Box Declaration, how this packaging composition breaks down as far as reporting. Again, here's what the packaging engineer assembles, how it breaks down from a basic material standpoint, and then what is required in the reporting as a reporting fraction. We can go to Germany and see how the reporting of the material fractions change. And so on. So that's the power of digitalizing your packaging compositions and establishing the sustainability thread in RDP. It gives you the power to look at how the compositions impact you across various tax regulations and requirements. But you can also take that information and drive it back into R&D so that you can design more sustainable packaging. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining the Sustainability Thread demo series, and we'll be back with another episode shortly.